Friends, what is going on with our cousin, Chris Christie? Why is he acting like this? You know, I had a lot of respect for Chris. And calling Trump a con artist, saying that people that support Trump are scared of him somehow. What happened to you, brother? I'm serious. What happened to Chris Christie? I mean, you know, this is a guy that helped Trump back in 2016, that was part of the campaign, that you know, helped build bridges. And what's he doing? I mean, what? I guess my main question, by the way, you're watching the Everything Else channel on. You got to do this, guys. Got to do this. You're watching the Everything Else channel on YouTube. It's a new channel. I need folks to subscribe. So if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And of course, leave a comment. You know, am I a liberal? Nope. Conservative? Nope. A MAGA guy? Nope. A Biden guy? Nope. What the hell am I? Well, I'm me. I have a mind. I have a voice. I'm talking to you. And I like things about Trump, and I like things about Biden. I like that. I don't want to be put into a box. And I will tell you this, whoever I vote for is between me and my maker. And that's how I feel. I would never ask you who you're voting for. I hope you wouldn't ask me who I'm voting for. And I hope that maybe by some of these videos you get some idea. But if you're stupid, maybe you don't. I don't know. You should never insult your viewers. But again, what happened to Chris Christie? If I had an opportunity to meet the man, I'd say, cousin, what happened to you? You know, why are you so bitter? Why are you attacking somebody who did so much for you? You know, Donald Trump gave Chris Christie a second career. Chris Christie was done. When Donald Trump asked Mike Pence to be his running mate, Mike Pence was done. I know he was the governor of Indiana. You don't need to tell me that. I live in Kentucky. Indiana is, from my home, Indiana is 5 minutes. From right here, maybe 10. And as the crow flies, which, you know, that means you just, you know, go in the air and fly. You know, there's no road, stop signs, none of that. You just fly, maybe 2 minutes. If I was a crow, I could make Indiana in 2 minutes from here, even from here, from anywhere, really. From here, from my office. Well, this is my office. From here, my apartment, whatever. My job downtown. My job downtown, I could be in Indiana in 20 seconds. I can see Indiana from my... Indiana is so what I'm trying to say, I'm sorry to go off on that tangent, but please don't tell me that Mike Pence was the governor of Indiana when I practically live in Indiana. I know that. But I would say, cousin, no, I'm talking, I wouldn't even talk to Mike Pence. Because Mike Pence is... Well, I don't even want to talk about Mike Pence. It doesn't even anger me anymore, really. It bothers me, the treachery. The treachery, you know, let me tell you this. There are people, I'm only 44 years old. I haven't lived hardly anything. My dad's 99. He's still kicking, doing well. 44, I've seen enough to have an opinion, but not one where I feel like it's infallible. I could be mistaken. And if I am, correct me. I'm not going to get all butthurt if you correct me on something. If I am the person that I want to be, that I aspire to be, then I'm going to take it in and correct my errors if I'm the person that I aspire to be. I mean, we're all hypocrites down beneath at some point, right? At some point, we think that we're right and everybody else is wrong. We all go through that. But I just feel that Donald Trump, whether you like him or you don't, and how could you not like him? I mean, let's be honest. How could you not like, please, how could you not like him? And don't just say, oh, you know, because that's the thing. A lot of people, you stop most people on the streets and you say, why don't you like Donald Trump? And they just come out with all sorts of nonsense. You know, some people, there have been people, and I'm sure you've seen them on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or I don't know. There's so many platforms now, I forget. You know, I remember a time when there was not even an internet. I'm sorry, Al Gore, I know you created the internet, but when I was in high school, there was no, well, actually, that's not true. Let me correct that. There was AOL. There was AOL, but I didn't have it, and I thought it was kind of lame, and I was more interested in playing football and basketball. I was going to sit at home typing on a keyboard. It just wasn't my thing. And then it just became bigger and bigger and bigger, but when I was in junior high and grade school, it didn't exist. The reason I say that is because you know, everything has changed to the point where now you have information available about pretty much anything. And one of the saddest things you could watch on, the various platforms are the people that are asked on the street, everyday people, statistically, you might be talking to a doctor, a lawyer, a plumber, an unemployed person, a dreamer. Statistically, you could be talking to anybody. But the common denominator is stupidity, ignorance. And, whenever somebody says, I don't like Trump, he's a fascist, I'm like, do you even know what fascism is? You're comparing Trump to Mussolini or Franco or something. Are you crazy? It's just really sad, is what it is. But in any event, let me get off of that. My point is this: you've got a guy who has helped so many people and has had his hand burned so many times in the process. If anybody thinks that Donald Trump needed Mike Pence, you're nuts. He didn't need Mike Pence to win. Mike Pence endorsed Ted Cruz when Mike Pence was governor of Indiana. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. So I just, to me, and what did Mike Pence have to do? I mean, a little something for Trump, and he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even do that. And Chris Christie, Trump fed Chris Christie. All that time he was in the White House, he made sure he got plenty to eat. But so I tell you, he took care of him. Anything he wanted, he could have had. He could have given him an ambassadorship. He could have been the ambassador to the United Kingdom or France. All they do is go out and drink and party. They don't do anything. I mean, those are our closest allies. What do they have to do? A bunch of ribbon cutting ceremonies, brunches and galas and all that stuff. He didn't want it, but he could have had it. He could have been an important secretary, like Ben Carson. He was HUD, director of HUD, secretary there. He could have been that. He could have been, he wasn't going to get Secretary of State or anything like that. Come on, let's be reasonable. But he could have gotten a lot of things. And now he resurfaces, and all he can do is call Trump names. Now he's in South Carolina creating a ruckus. I don't know what happened to Chris Christie. I don't know. What happened to him? And why does CNN have him on all the time? I know why, but why though? And Trump's got a big heart. And I could see Chris Christie trying to come back into Trump's life. When Trump's the nominee again, and it's looking like he's going to win again, I could see someone like Chris Christie coming around saying, Trump, I was wrong. I see the light. Will you please let me come back? Trump's got a big heart. He's got a big heart. And everybody's got a Chris Christie in their family. Some, black sheep of the family. It's just, you feel sorry for, just keep forgiving. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of this, because Chris Christie was probably Donald Trump's biggest supporter in 2016. And now he's this thorn in his side, and he's on all the liberal shows and all the liberal networks. And he just can't seem to stop running his mouth about one of the greatest presidents of the United States, second only to Ronald Reagan. I thought I was going to say George Washington. George Washington's way back there. Ronald Reagan's the best president ever, followed very closely by Donald Trump. George Washington's in the conversation, but he's not first or second. Sorry, George. But the reality of the matter is that, he's learned the hard way, like Pence, like DeSantis, like they all do. You step up to greatness, you're going to get schooled. And, but now, you see, I don't think he has any presidential ambitions, and I don't think that he has any ambitions of being in the White House, part of Trump's staff or anything like that. I think right now he's trying to look away to make some money. I don't know what kind of a pension he gets as governor of New Jersey. He probably gets a good one. But when you talk about these career politicians, it's never enough. They always want more money. So, and people aren't stupid. People aren't. Look at Lindsey Graham. People aren't stupid. Because even though Lindsey Graham had an about face and had a come to Trump moment, people still don't like Lindsey Graham. People don't forget. People are starting to wake up a little bit, wising up. You know what I mean? And they're not going to forget what Chris Christie's doing. And they certainly didn't forget what Lindsey Graham did. And, you know, I hope it's financially worth it for you, cousin. Because even if Trump lets you come back, I don't think the people are going to want you around. I mean, you cooked your goose, you know, you dug your hole, now you got to sit in it. I'm sorry. There's no coming back from this. Chris Christie, cousin, you're in the same boat as Mike Pence. Mike Pence is done. Mike Pence is talking to 4 people. And Ron DeSantis can't even pay his staff. He's got to let him go. He hasn't any money. I'm not saying you can't. Look at Nick. You could do like Nikki Haley. You could run a campaign. You know, you could have your points. You could get your polling numbers. You could, but when you go below the belt, you know, there's a price to pay for that. And there's a price to get on TV, and there's a price to get the interviews. You know, there's a price to be, you know, trending. You know, and I'll tell you something. When Trump's back in the White House, and you're, I mean, I guess you could be like a career critic, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But you were something special, cousin. You were something special. I liked you. I admired you. Now I don't have a thought about you. But I'm making this video because you're constantly insulting one of the greatest Americans that's ever lived, second only to Ronald Reagan. That's the only reason I'm talking about you. No other reason. In any event, folks, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Everything Else channel, please do so. Ring the bell for notifications and leave a comment down below. What the heck happened to Chris Christie? Let me know.